Okay, class, we are in week 13. This is final week. And we're done. So, I'm sure that you're feeling pretty beat down as this is finals week. So we do have a lot of work to get done in by Thursday, by midnight Thursday. But not tons. And in fact, this is only a little bit more than usual work you have to do. The main issue is you have to be done by Thursday. But I just want to clarify. So we have the final. The final, as you'll see, is not that hard. I want it to be at least 2 pages. Okay, there's that. But I'm giving you, the topic is to write on what you liked most. And I just want you to pack it full of names, places, dates. Just give me a good 2 pages. By now, you should know what I'm looking for. There's no trick to this. The final is, in a sense, it's only 30 points, meaning that it's not much more points than like what we did this week. And then you do have video notes. Because we had a cram course kind of setting, usually I just like to end the week on one final and no other work. But it's not that much to incorporate. You'll see the video notes that I have are not as long for the section, and you might want to write about the section. It's on basically Central and South America, Aztecs, Olmec, those kind of things. And so here's the other side of this. I give you guys a lot of work, and the advantage is you can lose a lot of points and still have a high grade. Now, I'm not a math professor, and I don't want to be responsible for trying to figure this out, but I just want to say, I'm not officially encouraging, but I am saying some of you will look, if you've been turning in solid work for up to this time, that you might be able to afford to not take the exam and still have the grade that you want. Now you have to make that decision and accept what it looks like afterwards. If you are going to decide not to take the exam, or you don't want to do the video notes for this last section, just please tell me, and I'll give you the 0 and congratulate you on a great semester, and we'll move forward. Otherwise, if you don't turn anything, I'll still give you a 0, but it's just kind of nice for me to know, like, okay, you're consciously doing this, and you've thought about what you're doing. And then I'll give you guys time to look at your grades. So for this upcoming weekend, this is what I want you to keep in mind. Every semester, I tell my students, before I'm going to put the final grade in the Pirates Net, I tell them, double check, make sure that the grade that's on Canvas reflects what you think it should reflect. And if it does not, I encourage you need to get a hold of me ASAP so I can look for if there's any mistake from my own grading or from Canvas, that we can resolve this. I don't want to have a debate about this or resolve this issue after I've already put it in the Pirates Net. Now this is going to be paperwork, and I am going to be resentful, I'll be honest. Okay? Just because I give you guys time to look it over and make sure that we're all on board. Okay? Now, if I manually put the wrong grade into Pirates Net that's not reflected in the Canvas, then that's my bad. And I haven't did that yet, but if I do, then I'm saying, okay, I'll just fix it for you. Okay? Knowing that I messed up. But in any case, so this is what we're doing with this week. Okay? And again, I just want to say, like, I appreciate so many of you in my class. There were several of you that I wrote to about working on your writing, and again, there's a few of you that did not get back a hold of me. Here's all I really want to make clear, which I've said before. I'm never quite sure if some of you had a struggle with writing because of your time constraints, or you really had a struggle with writing. And that's important for me. If you are having a hard time with writing and you want to be a history major, you need to resolve that right away. I want to state that again. Upper division history is almost entirely writing. So you might have been a little bit shocked that we didn't do multiple choice as a focus in this class. Well, I mean, I had a history class at UC Santa Cruz that was one 10-page midterm and one in-class essay. I was it for the entire grading, and it was based on your writing. I got B's with this professor twice. He was a very good professor. He expected a lot out of writing, and I still, when I was in upper division at UC Santa Cruz, I still was struggling with really how to nail a history paper down. I mean, I did have some A's. I almost graduated with honors, but that, as I mentioned before that I had to struggle with writing, even at that level, my professor was just really kind of frustrated with my writing. And it's just something I didn't really think about as much when I was at MJC, as a student. If your history professors at MJC prepared you properly for going to UC or to CSU, you probably would have dropped the class because it's so demanding on writing. So again, I just want to emphasize, if this is what you want to do, if you want to be in humanities, social sciences, you're going to be writing a lot, and so it's something that you need to just work on, and you can do it, okay? Even if you're struggling, even if you're a second language learner, you can do it, but you just need to really, really focus in your mind and appreciate the importance of that, okay? And then the last thing I'm going to say, so I post this, I posted two political kind of things in my announcements for those who watch, and I posted one on Saudi Arabia. I just want you, I would like you all to pay attention to foreign policy more from now on. Being aware of global history should help encourage you to be on top of global politics. And you'll notice, just notice this, if you look at Fox News or CNN or MSNBC or any of the mainstream media channels, or even listen to AM radio, they don't really actually do a good discussion of U.S. foreign policy or what is really going on overseas. They'll talk about a skirmish with North Korea, something that's happened in Syria, Iraq, or Afghanistan in a very abstract and obscure kind of way. It's simply not informative, and I find it to be kind of grotesque. When we are the world superpower, and yet we as a population don't even understand what that means, what that implies, and then politicians utilize our phobias, our fears, or identity politics, or things that we feel about things here going on, and simultaneously then ignore what they're telling us when they do things in foreign policy. So, for example, Democrats and Republicans have all had close ties with Saudi Arabia. And on one hand, they're always trying to talk about Islamic extremism, and then they're talking about a strong alliance with Saudi Arabia. Now, I'm not trying to demonize Saudi Arabia. I'm just saying that there are a lot of contradictions and ironies to U.S. foreign policy, mainly because the rhetoric that comes out, I think, of politicians should be taken with a grain of salt. There are more consistent philosophies and ideas about real politics and the kind of real world goings-ons of political affairs. And what I've noticed over the years, when I go to lectures coming from people who are high up in the government, whether they're members of NATO or UN officials or things of that nature, that those of us who kind of try to pose a question in regards to morals and ethics get almost kind of laughed at or kind of looked at as naive. In other words, oh, you bought into these ideas that we're going to Afghanistan to liberate women? No, we are there for interests. What state does that? But then leads you to the question, well then, this is so fundamental a part of our culture, the idea of ethics and having a moral high ground. Like, what about this? Well, look, we're not going to resolve this right here. I just wanted to say this, that this class, I hope, gives you a base work, even though we focus just on religion mainly, to start looking more critically about the world we live in and seeing the vastness of it, and that you might have a passion to investigate yourself. Remember, history comes from the Greek, to inquire or to investigate. Okay? What is really happening in the world? Can you inquire of this? Can you investigate? Can you look with critical thinking and try to check your sources and put some time into that? The internet, for all the garbage that's on there, does have a lot of treasures as well. And it's just about kind of utilizing these things. So, in any case, guys, it was wonderful to have you. Feel free to stay in touch, and I look forward to just wrapping this up and hopefully giving you the grades that you deserve, that also make you feel good at the end of that. All right. Peace.